I bet I drill a clean hole in somebody today.
I've been doing YouTube for quite some time. Some of my earliest videos date back to 8 years ago. But when things really got going, you look at the 5 years ago. I started to do a lot of montages, make videos about Yoshimitsu being cool character. You know, I think he's cool. All of you guys don't. Fair enough. Some people have taste, some people don't. Okay, but look, let's not get off topic. In the earliest days of my YouTube channel as well, I slowly started to shift towards commentary videos. Now, a lot of those videos are gone or removed because they were just pure slop. Back then, bro, it was just mindless, endless ranting, incoherent thoughts, terribly edited videos. I came a long way. But as you can see here, one of the videos that was the birth of this commentary was Fahkumram. This is when Arslan Ash calls Fahkumram a stupid character. Fahkumram is banned in Pakistan. This video was uploaded July 21st, 2020. And this video and what was happening with Leroy and Fahkumram and the DLC in Tekken 7 marked a change. Not only was Tekken 7 so great up until that point, because everyone say, Tekken 7 was ruined, Tekken 7 was this. That era is when everything happened. Tekken 7 had 4 years of success before then. But with Leroy and Fahkumram, with their introduction, you know, I was really becoming angry with what the developers were doing, because the pay-to-win DLC, not only were they ruining the game, but they were extremely powerful. Since Leroy and Fahkumram, the Tekken team has put out non-stop pay-to-win DLC. From characters like Lydia to Kunimitsu, you can even talk about Ganryu and Zafina, because those characters don't get the same level of scrutiny as Leroy and Fahkumram, but those characters were played by Arslan, played by Ni. Ganryu was ultra powerful and tournament viable as well. All of Season 4 DLC for Tekken 7 was monstrous. And then here comes Tekken 8. We give them all of this feedback about pay-to-win DLC, fair DLC, not make them so gimmicky, so cheap, and we were hoping that those concerns will be addressed in a brand new game. But then Tekken 8 kind of got off to a rocky start. They put out a 3-3 Eddie who isn't tournament viable, but when you look at his online win rate performance, he's decimating the top ranks and also the low ranks. Lydia, she is a character who can steamroll you very fast, but she's not tournament viable as well. And then Heihachi, that's another character who does very well online. Clive is a character who does everything well online, well in tournaments, and this is the escalation of power with the DLC, where Eddie's not, but then Clive is like really there. And then Anna takes it a step forward, and she is the best character in the game. Arslan and E were about to have a nerf war on Twitter about it. And then here is the announcement of Fahkumram. Everyone immediately started to doom and gloom and say, oh, Tekken's ruined for sure. And I also participated in this, but towards the later ends of it, I was thinking maybe not. And here's why. If you look at this video right here, where I say Tekken 8 player count on Steam drops to the lowest it's ever been, but there's still hope. And then a little bit later, I put out this video where I say, I hope Fahkumram is good, but not broken, and that Tekken 8 final update goes well. And the reason why I was saying things like this, because yes, Fahkumram had the potential to destroy this game. I mean, if you look at what he did in Tekken 7, one can only assume history would repeat itself, especially following up a character like Anna. But I started to have this big brain idea like, wait a minute, the developers wants to show us that they're listening. They want to show us that the game is getting better. They want to show that Tekken 8 can be great. And I was thinking, wouldn't it the best example of that is to deliver a well-balanced Fahkumram? At the time, when if you look at those comment sections, everyone was like, wishful thinking, not gonna happen. And it just speaks to how much favor they lost, to where players were already assuming the worst. Just a couple of days later, I was looking at the IGN video and I was like, yeah, Fahkumram's for surely gonna be broken. You talk about a guard break that has this move, that has this move, that has 5 different, I'm like, yeah, he's cooked. But the character comes out, players get their hands on him, and he is not at all busted. I just played against the Anna before starting this video, and he is not her. Anna is despicable. Now, I'm not going to jump on the knee hype train and start talking about that character should be nerfed and where's the nerfs. But when you compare Anna to Fahkumram, it's a night and day difference. And what I was saying 8 days ago about using Fahkumram as a perfect showcasing of how this game can be saved and how they can listen and how they can release a character that is not super pay to win, that is what I'm talking about, bro. This update, the more that I think about it, the more that I look at it, is a great update. It never was really bad. Players were just disappointed that there wasn't more, right? That's really what everyone wants. Everyone wants more of the good stuff. But the good stuff, this update definitely delivered. Fahkumram has a lot of weaknesses. He has some strengths, like he has all the punishes from 10 to, I believe, all the way up to the ceiling. He can punish everything. He has good range. He has some gimmicky moves. He has some, parries, some evasion. He has all of the slimy stuff that characters are given these days, but one major flaw with him is, I think, the tracking. We always talk about how some characters' weaknesses are supposed to be bad tracking, supposed to be bad lows, supposed to be bad punishment, supposed to be bad damage, and sometimes, a lot of times, that isn't true. Like, they say that Heihachi's weakness is supposed to be bad tracking, but you start trying to sidestep against him and you're going to be on your neck in a couple of seconds. With Fahkumram, with ease, you can move out of the way and you won't get hit. And it's like he won't realign, he won't Tekken 8 track you. And that's the thing too, he's not powerful. I won't say he's weak. I know Main Man put out a video saying that he's weak. I don't know if Main Man wants him to be buffed or if Main Man was saying that he's just fine. I haven't seen that video yet, but I won't personally classify him as weak just yet because I haven't had that much experience against him, but I do know he is not broken. He's not an Anna. He's not a Clive. He has serious weaknesses that can be exploited, and I also think multiple characters should be like him. I think he is quite possibly a blueprint for how characters should be. He is a unique character who has unique gameplay options. He has like unique strengths, unique weaknesses. He's not overpowered. Like, I love what this character is providing to the game. I know the Bruce Mains are kind of a little bit salty because Bruce Mains wanted everyone to continue hating Fahkumram, but it seems like Tekken 8 is going to be different. This makes me feel really good about what they're going to do for Armor King, right? Because I was thinking like, okay, Anna's stance character, Fahkumram is just going to be a super easy, busted stance character, and the same thing for Armor King. Now, we will have to see what happens there, but considering that they gave us something beautiful with Fahkumram, I have high hopes for not only Armor King, but the future of this game. Isn't he like 60% win rate with 20% pick rate? Who are we talking about? Fahkumram? So this is probably what you're looking at. 59% win rate. That's because no one knows the matchup. And a lot of people have experience with Fahkumram. Blackheart was the first person on the planet to hit God of Destruction with Fahkumram. I was like, how did you do that so fast? That's crazy. And he's like, you guys got to keep in mind, I have experience from Tekken 7. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, the 18% pick rate's pretty crazy. In the era of Tekken 7, Armor King was the most successful DLC ever. Then Fahkumram, which was right behind him. In Tekken 8, we now have Anna. She was the number 2 most played character. And when you see Heihachi on his release, he was 4. But with Heihachi having his 18.5, if this does not fall off and this maintains in the slightest, he's going to be astronomically popular. So this kind of puts it on a graph, right? Character popularity. You can see he is picked 293,000 times. Well, to be honest, all the new DLC have high stats, right? When they first come out. Oh yeah, the start of season 2, you can see Anna was right there, character popularity, Clive update, but yeah, you can see Clive right there at the start. So yeah, every time a character releases, everyone will gravitate to that character, but then what you will see, like if we look at the next one for Clive, he falls off. He falls even further. When you talk about which DLCs are the most popular, these are DLC characters who are not falling off. Fahkumram, Armor King never fell off. This is Anna at the start. Let's see, where's the fall off? So she's still pretty high up there. And keep in mind, this is only ranked, right? So you can see how she's maintaining over a character like Clive. And by the way, look at Clive. Look at where Clive is. When we just looked at the other characters and no characters had this amount of a lead. One thing about Fahkumram, with him not being pay to win DLC, we'll see whether or not he maintains, because a lot of people argued the reason why he was top in Tekken 7 is because he was pay to win DLC. So without that factor and him still having this much people playing him, I mean, it kind of debunks it already. But once some time passes, we'll be able to see if he still maintains, and if he does, then that kind of debunks that idea that Fahkumram is just popular because he's pay to win, right? Which was what a lot of people said. Because it's an argument, but now we'll finally be able to test that theory. That's unless the developers decide to buff him in the next update, because you have Main Man and a lot of other people saying that he's trash tier, right? We know what the developers do when a character is considered trash tier. Think of Lars.